Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Angie Nelp Show. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by the head women's basketball coach at the University of Tulsa, Angie Nelp. And Coach, a 1-1 week, a really nice home win against Memphis, and then road games are tough, aren't they, in the American?
They are, yeah. We got our win at home against Memphis and then went on the road and played at Cincinnati, ended up losing a close game there.
So, Coach, in the Memphis game, obviously it was a good game first time around in Memphis, even better at home. What did you do? How did you play better?
Yeah, we knew that it was going to be a tough game. First of all, playing at Memphis, they're a tough team, they're a good team, and one of the areas that we really tried to focus on was our rebounding. We thought we just gave up too many offensive rebounds at their place, and so I was really proud of our growth in that area. We held them to only 7 offensive rebounds, and that was a big focus for us, and so that was good to see that growth in our team and see that success. And then, as always, we have a team that just plays so hard and they fight so hard on the floor together, and so that's always a good, fun thing to be a part of.
I know you're always worried about rebounding, and you win this rebounding battle 29-28, but as many times as you turn the other team over, if you can be somewhere near even on rebounding, do you feel like that's acceptable?
I do, yeah. Different things happen at different times. Sometimes, Bruce, we're great at boxing out, and then the ball just doesn't go your way, or it's a dead ball rebound, and they get those kinds of rebounds. So it's always a little bit situational, but if we can be right there on the boards with teams, we think that's what's going to allow us to compete in conference.
And on top of that, 21 turnovers by Memphis, so that certainly helps. And you ended up with a lot of good performances, but Rebecca Lasky led you with 21 points. She was really aggressive, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. And when Rebecca can just get in the open floor and she can be in transition and she can kind of play, one-on-one in transition or have other shooters to kick to, she's really, really good in those situations. So our defense really creates that a lot for her to be able to do that.
Maya Mayberry, good to see her back. Now, she had missed a couple of games, and I think you get hurt, or if you're out for a couple of games, it does take a couple to kind of get back in the rhythm, doesn't it?
It does. You've got to find your rhythm. You got to find your flow, and you got to be in sync with your teammates. And one thing about Maya is that she works so hard, and she has such great chemistry with our team that I feel like she was able to do that pretty quickly this time.
Yeah, and certainly Delaney Crawford in double figures. You had 5 players in double figures. I think it's always fun to see a young player continue to emerge like Delaney is.
Yeah, Delaney, and you can't leave her open. Yeah, it is fun whenever she's open and she gets shots in rhythm and in her pocket and she's able to make those. It's really good for our team, and she does so much for our team on the defensive end of the floor and the offensive end of the floor, and she works really hard and she's always in the gym working. So continuing to see her shine in those moments that she gets throughout the game is key for our team. It takes everybody, and I loved the balance that we had in our Memphis game, and Delaney was a big part of that. We had several players in double figures, and the way that we play as a team is how we want to play.
And she had 3 three-pointers in the game, so that was certainly important for you. And then, as I look at that game, you frequently get off to good starts, but it seems like that second quarter always is good for you, and it was again. 22-12.
We had a great second quarter against Memphis, and then that third quarter was a little bit flipped. Defensively, we didn't hold them as much as we wanted to in that third quarter, and then we came back strong in the fourth quarter. So when we can get consistent and we can put all these quarters together, Bruce, I think we're going to be something pretty good.
Absolutely, and that gets your record to 3-2 in the American Athletic Conference, and then you go on the road, which is never easy, and at Cincinnati against the Bearcats, continually a team I think it just continues to get better as the season goes on. What was the challenge that you were thinking about going into that game?
Yeah, I think Cincinnati is a very good team. They have great inside players. They have great outside players. You can never look at a team's record and just assume that that's where they are. They've beaten some really good teams, and obviously Michelle's a good coach, and her teams always play really hard. And anytime you go on the road in our conference, it's going to be difficult. And so we really went into that game knowing that we were going to have to work really hard, that we're going to have to fight really hard, and that we're going to have to rebound the ball. And so, again, kind of mirrored a little bit in Memphis, where we had a really good second quarter, and our third quarter defensively, struggled to hold them where we wanted to that quarter too.
Yeah, they outscored you 28-11 in the third quarter, erased that 16-point lead. So now you have a dogfight going into the fourth quarter, and it was an entertaining fourth quarter.
Yeah, it kind of back and forth, and I thought one thing that we did really well in that game, it was our balance again. We did have balanced attacks. You know, in that third quarter, when you look at it, you know, we weren't able to get as many driving kicks as what we had wanted to, and then in that fourth quarter, we were able to kind of find our rhythm a little bit with hitting each other.
And then, I think it was tied at 60, and then they get the 6-0 run at the end of the game, and I know down the stretch sometimes, things happen, but that's a tough way to end the game, wasn't it?
It is tough. And, I think this time of year, what separates you, it's your focus and your toughness. And I know we have that with our team. And so I'm excited for us to learn from that adversity that we faced. And we hit a lot of adversity that game. And so we had some really tough responses, and we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to focus, continue to be tough. This time of year, that's what matters.
Absolutely. And Arame Niang came off the bench for them and really played well. I mean, and she's one of those types of players that is likely to give your squad problems because she's a skilled big, right?
She is. She did a great job, and when we tried to adjust defensively and kind of take her away a little bit when we did that, we opened up some three-point shooters for them that were able to hit that. And so they had a balanced attack like I talk about. They had that too, and we're just, we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to just attack adversity and kind of go through some of these hard moments so we can continue to get better.
Well, you had 4 players in double figures, and again, you had that balance. Yvette Mayberry, led you with 16 points in the game, and she continues. People forget she's only a sophomore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing the way she plays that she's only a sophomore.
She is. We've got that nice mix on our team of some really good young players and some really good veteran players. And then as a team, you really like the balance and the leadership we have with that hunger and that youth that we have. And so I feel she does a great job for our team, and she steps up in big moments, and she always works really hard.
You talk about that rebounding stat. You lost that by 5, 38-33, but then you didn't turn them over enough. I mean, they had only 13 turnovers, and that's unusual.
Yeah, the game against Cincinnati, it wasn't the pace that we wanted it to be. In the first half, I felt like we were able to really control the tempo of the game, and we were able to get our transition game going. In the second half, it kind of got slowed down. They were able to slow it down quite a bit with their scoring, and so we've got to make sure as we continue to grow and we play these teams that we're able to keep it up tempo.
Is that something that you're seeing from other teams as they scout you, that boy, they better transition back on defense, that you'll see them adapt and adjust?
Yeah, I think so. I think other teams are really trying to take away our transition game. And when you look at our different quarters and what we have, whenever we can have our transition game and whenever we can get in flow with our offense and be in sync and find each other, we're pretty hard to guard.
So how do you battle that when they make the adjustment, starting to transition back and that sort of thing? How do you still try to push it?
Yeah.
You just have to.
One word, go.
Yeah, just.
We do. We all run. We do our best to run really hard, right, and get everybody down the floor. And then, like I talk about with our versatility sometimes within our team, being able to have multiple ball handlers really push it down the floor helps us play faster.
And of course, you want to play fast for 40 minutes. Do you ever feel that the team gets weary at the end of a game? I know your conditioning program is really, really good. So
yeah.
Is that ever a concern that you run yourself out of a game or not?
Sometimes it's a concern. You want to make sure that you're definitely aware of your fitness level and what you're able to do. And, I think, Bruce, in all honesty, I think that is one really big strength of ours, is our ability to push the ball for as long as we do and as hard as we do in games. There's moments in these games and even in these conference games, towards the end of January, what you see is there's some teams that they try to run with us and they want to run with us for the first quarter, but once they realize that we have that gear for sometimes that second and that fourth quarter, they don't have the same stamina that we do. And so I'm really proud of our strength and conditioning program and the way that we've developed the fitness in our players. It is that time of year where you expect people to be tired. As hard as you work on the floor, that's one of the things that we talk about with our team. Like, don't be afraid to get tired. Get tired. That means you're working and you're doing good things. So we take a lot of pride, in being able to kind of push through walls when you hit a little bit of fatigue, and I think our team does a great job of that.
And so more often you're hoping that your team runs them out of the gym in the fourth quarter with your conditioning than you guys actually being weary, because I think having success and running flow like that kind of gets I guess you're less tired that way because you're exciting, you're having exciting moments and scoring and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, outlast. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Outlast them, and that's what we want to do.
Wear them down a little, huh?
We want to be the tougher team, and I think we can do that. I know we can do that, and I'm proud of our team for that fight and that effort that they have down the stretch in late game situations.
In a moment, we'll be back and we will talk about the week coming up. Houston coming into town, and hopefully a little bit of payback right here at the Reynolds Center on Wednesday, and then it'll be a Saturday game away. We'll be talking about that in a moment as we continue on the Angie Nelp Show.
We are the American.
What is true blue? It's true loyalty, supporting others with unwavering commitment. It's true innovation, thinking creatively and strategically to make a difference. It's true strength, taking risks and standing up for what's right. True Blue is a 125-year legacy. Find the true you at the University of Tulsa.
As we continue with Angie Nelp, Coach, you get ready for a busy week, obviously, and at home against Houston, and Houston got you at their place, and so it's, as we mentioned before, hopefully some payback, huh?
Yeah, we're really excited about this game. We've flipped over from Cincinnati, kind of closed that game out, and we're ready to move full steam ahead into Houston. Tough game at their place. Last time we were there, I believe they had a quarter. They had one quarter where they just kind of outscored us by quite a bit in that second quarter. And then we came back in that second half at their place and just fought and clawed our way back and kind of ran out of time there at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say you clipped it down inside double digits a number of times in the second half, but couldn't quite get there. And they're a very long and athletic team,
Yeah.
It seems like. And watching their game against South Florida, that wasn't a good result offensively for them the other day. But they certainly played good defense against South Florida. I mean, I think they're a really good defensive team.
Yeah, they are. Their defense sparks a lot of their offense. They're a very good team. They're a very long and athletic and quick team, and they have size and strength. They have a lot of different weapons that they can kind of throw at people, and they play really aggressive. And so we're excited for this challenge for us to go back and kind of play them in round two and make some different corrections. I mean, you watch them against South Florida, though, and in that game, they had just some different rosters. They hadn't had their complete roster back until they met South Florida. So you expect them to maybe be a little bit rusty in that game that we saw watching them on Sunday. But I think that we're going to see a good Houston team, and we're excited about that.
Well, and again, get that running game going, huh? So they don't set up the half court and use their length. Right?
Yeah, exactly. They're a running team. Yep, they want to push the ball, so it could be a higher tempo game.
Absolutely, and then Wichita State coming up on Sunday, and again you get back on the road again. And what about the Shockers?
Yeah, well, we only look one game ahead, right? We don't know, but I know that Keitha does a great job with that program, and I know Wichita State has a really good team, and so it's going to be a challenging week for us. What's going to be really important for us is how we bounce back after that game at Cincinnati, and how we kind of keep moving forward as a team and just keep growing together.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck this week.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right, folks, we will see you Wednesday right here at the Reynolds Center with the Hurricane taking on Houston starting at 6:30. For Coach Angie Nelp, I'm Bruce Howard. So long.